Hi guys. So I'm going to do scenario one, and I figured I would just sort of do it like a role play scenario where I'm talking to you, the client. Um, and yeah, I'm talking as if we've had a couple sessions before and we have a decent amount of good rapport. And yeah, I added in some other details to sort of personalize the story. Yeah, so I know you've come in today because you have been feeling some feelings of postpartum depression, and you're worried about how that's going to impact your engagement with your kiddo, who I know you said is 6 months at this point. And I wanted to first start off by normalizing that experience. A lot of women do experience some level of either postpartum depression or baby blues, or just anxiety over all the change that's going on. Um, yeah, and that is very normal and also likely very temporary. I know you mentioned that you were breastfeeding, and with milk production comes an increased level of prolactin, which has an impact on your other hormones, especially estrogen, which might be impacting your energy levels and kind of contributing to that sort of like sluggish, unmotivated feeling. And so the hormone changes, as well as the change in sleep schedule. I know you mentioned you're not getting very much sleep at this point. And so those two things combined do really contribute to those feelings of just being down and exhausted and yeah, overall unmotivated. And so I just wanted to hopefully give you some reassurance in the fact that it is normal and it's also likely temporary. But with that, the role right now is your job right now is so crucial still, even though you're not seeing a lot of change externally in your kiddo. There is a lot of internal development that's going on. And I know you also mentioned that like lack of productivity is contributing to your depression, because you used to be a businesswoman in this very busy, goal-oriented, ambitious setting, and you were responsible for doing a lot and producing a lot, and you did do that well, and that kind of contributed to your sense of self. And now that you live kind of a more slowed down life with your kiddo and you don't see very many changes going on, that's really contributed to feelings of depression and feelings of worthlessness. But I just wanted to reassure you that there is actually so much that in what you're doing, and your role is so important, and you're really laying the foundation for your child's development for the rest of their life. And one of the key pieces with that is that you're developing this safe, secure environment for them at home. And so by holding them and giving them kisses and smiling at them and giving them like positive reinforcement with your facial expressions and mannerisms, you are developing this just sense of security and sense of trust in the world, that the world is a safe place, that your kiddo is secure. And that might not really show externally right now, but later in life that's going to develop in so many ways. And so later they're going to have more self-efficacy, and they're going to have more trust in the world, and so they're going to be more willing to go out and explore and adventure, and have some more boldness in who they are, and also trust that other people are good. You know, you're modeling, you're the first primary model for what the world is like. And so when you provide that safe, secure environment, it's really just emphasizing the fact that there are other good people out there. And so when it comes to having friendships and relationships, they're going to have that willingness to trust other people, which is huge. And so I really just want to reassure you that the work that you're doing right now is so important and foundational for your child. Another thing too that's important is those facial expressions. So their language is developing, even though they're not speaking yet. And so they are getting some understanding of the verbal, but the most important thing right now that's going on is facial expression. So you're conveying so much to them by your mannerisms and your facial expressions. And so giving them those smiles and those positive expressions really does help them make sense of the world. And The great thing about that is, your kiddo's not going to be able to really tell if you're faking it or not. And so I know you mentioned that you are getting down on their level and trying to engage with them and trying to smile. And it feels forced to you. And I also just want to reassure you that that's okay, even if it does feel forced. Just that interaction alone really does help your kiddo develop. And so I hope that you feel reassured and encouraged. That's really just the biggest thing, is knowing how much you really are doing and that your job is so important and it's going to really aid in your child's development throughout their lifespan.